Hey guys, Miss Turnbull's back. I'm here to do a second video, this time with new material. Now we are still gonna kind of move through this pretty quickly. So if you have any questions or are concerned, make sure that you are contacting either myself or Ms. Thomas to answer your questions, maybe meet with you digitally, one-on-one, help you to get to a point where you feel like you understand this stuff. If you have not yet done your practice quizzes for the last video, I would encourage you to do that. Reminder, you don't have to, but it's a really good way to see where you're sitting with your current understanding. All right, let's move in to 3.5 and 3.6. So these follow the booklets that you got in class. We have posted the PDFs in the classroom just in case you don't have the hard copy, which would not surprise me. A lot of you left them in my classroom on purpose so that we didn't lose them, and now you're at home. So feel free to grab that PDF from the Google Classroom. 3.5 is dealing with converting measurements between the metric system and the imperial system. And this is a little bit different from what we were doing before, but really not that much. The way that we're going to do it is still going to be the same. It's just the charts that have changed. So let's take a look at these two charts. So this first one over on this side shows us how imperial units compare to metric units. So this will say 1 inch is 25.4 millimeters. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters, and so on and so forth. This chart on the right is converting imperial or metric units into imperial units. Okay, so 1 millimeter is 0.039 inches, 1 centimeter, 0.394 inches, and so on and so forth. All right, these charts we're going to go back to every time we have to answer a question, because they're going to set up our ratios for us so that we can cross multiply and divide and get our answer really easily. So let's try this out. The first question that we've got here is asking us to convert 5 centimeters into inches. Okay, just like last time, we're looking for how many inches is 5 centimeters. Okay, now what we're going to have to do on this side is 1 centimeter is how many inches. Let's take a look. 1 centimeter is 0.394 inches. Let's go back. 0.394 inches. All right, we need to grab our calculator here. 5 centimeters times 0.394 equals, divided by what's left over, which is the 1, and we get 1.97 inches. So 5 centimeters is 1.97 inches. Okay, just like we were doing last time. This is not that different. The only difference is the fact that instead of having metric units on the top and on the bottom, or imperial units on the top and on the bottom, now we've got metric on the top, imperial on the bottom, or vice versa, which we will see in a couple of the examples as we continue on. Let's take a look at the second one. 15 meters, and we want to know how many feet that is. So 1 meter, we need to know how many feet are in a meter. 1 meter is 3.281 feet. So 3.281 feet. And again, we go back to our calculator, cross multiply and divide 15 times 3.281 and divide that by 1. We get our 49.22 feet. So 15 meters equals 49.22 feet. Okay, just like we were doing yesterday. This is not much different, shouldn't be a huge stretch. Let's take a look at this next one. It wants us to do meters to yards. So 10 meters over how many yards? This is what we're trying to figure out. Equals 1 meter, and we need to know how many yards go into a meter. Okay, 1 meter is 1.094 yards. 1.094 yards. And now we grab our calculator and we do our math again. 10 times 1.094 divided by the 1 that's left over, and we get 10.94. So this equals 10.94 yards. Got a few more examples here. 3 feet into centimeters. So we've got imperial on the top this time, and that's okay. So 1 foot, we need to know how many centimeters go into 1 foot. Well, let's take a look. 1 foot is, we don't have that in this chart. What we have is 0.305 meters. Okay, well, we know that we can convert this into centimeters with what we were doing last time. So 0.305 meters over how many centimeters equals 1 meter over, we know there are 100 centimeters in a meter. Okay, 0.305 times 100 is 30.5, divided by that 1, 30.5 centimeters. All right, so let's go back over here. So there are 30.5 centimeters in a foot. Let's go to our calculator. And we are going to do 3 times 30.5 divided by that 1. And 3 feet is 91.5 centimeters. Last 2 examples down here. 10 kilometers into miles. We need to figure out, okay, how much of a mile is 1 kilometer? Let's go back over here. 1 kilometer is 0.621 miles. So 0.621 miles. And we're going to pull back up our calculator and do our cross multiplication and division. I know this seems really repetitive, but we're doing a lot of examples so that you can see exactly how this works over and over and over again, which makes it much easier for you to do it on your own. So 10 kilometers is going to be 6.21 miles. I'm just going to extend this page a little bit. So this equals 6.21 miles. Last one on this page, 2 yards into meters. The 1 yard is how much of a meter? Go back over here. 1 yard is 0.914 meters. So 0.914 meters. Do our cross multiplication and division. Pull up our calculator here, and we go 2 times 0.914 divided by that 1, 1.828 or 1.83 meters. 2 yards is 1.83 meters. All right, so just like we were doing yesterday, all you do is set up your proportions into your cross multiplication and perform your cross multiplication, and you'll get the answer. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right, let's take a look at some word problems here. Okay, this one says Frank is 6 feet 2 inches tall. To list his height on his driver's license application, Alex needs to convert this measurement to centimeters. I'm assuming Alex works at the DMV or something. So Alex is trying to put this information on the application. Frank is 6 feet 2 inches tall. We need to convert that to centimeters. We need to do 2 conversions here because 6 feet 2 inches doesn't actually allow us to go straight into a conversion. What we need to do first is 6 feet 2 inches. We need to convert that into inches. Okay, so 6 feet, how many inches in a foot? Well, there's 12 inches in a foot. Okay, 6 times 12 is 72. 72 inches plus 2 inches is 74 inches. Okay, so now we've got this in a number we can actually use. 74 inches, we want to know how many centimeters is that? So 1 inch. And now we need to know how many centimeters go into an inch. An inch is 2.54 centimeters. Okay, now we've set up our cross multiplication and we can just pop it right into our calculator. 74 times 2.54 divided by that 1, and it gives us 187.96. So he is 187.96 centimeters tall. Okay. It's wanting us to let's see, Frank is 6 feet 2 inches tall. So we'll just say Frank is 187.96 centimeters tall. Call that a happy day. All right, next question. Mary is delivering a load of goods from Vancouver, BC to Seattle, Washington. And then in Seattle, she's picking up another load to deliver to Albuquerque, New Mexico. The distance from Vancouver to Seattle is 220 kilometers, and the distance from Seattle to Albuquerque is 1,456 miles. The odometer in Mary's truck records distance in kilometers. So first, it's asking us what is the total distance she will travel in kilometers, which is fine because this one is in kilometers, so we can leave this one alone. The problem is that this one over here is in miles. All right, we're going to have to convert that. So let's get started. 1,456 miles. And we're wondering how many kilometers is that? Okay, 1 mile. We need to know how many kilometers go into a mile. Let's take a look. 1.609 kilometers go into a mile. All right, we've set up our cross multiplication here. Okay, so we can just type this in. 1456 times 1.609 divided by that 1 gives us 2,342.704. Okay, this is kilometers, but this is not the answer because she's also traveling this 220. So we have to add 220 kilometers. Okay, which will then give us our answer of 2,562.70 kilometers. All right. Okay, moving on. So now we're taking a look at this part of the question. It says, if her odometer read 154,987 kilometers when she left Seattle, what did it read when she left Vancouver? It's asking us, okay, before she left, when she was in Vancouver, before she left for any of this, what did her odometer read? Okay, so we got to go 154,987 kilometers. Now, what do we have to do with this? Well, how long was what distance was she traveling when she left Vancouver? When she gets to Seattle, she's traveled 220 kilometers. So what we need to do is subtract 220 kilometers because she's already traveled to Seattle when her odometer looks like this. So we need to subtract it in order to figure out how many kilometers were on her odometer before she had left in the first place. So let's pull up our calculator. 154,987 minus 220 gives us 154,767. Okay, this is what her odometer read. Her odometer read 154,767 kilometers. Ooh, right in the middle of my answer. I have a really bad habit of doing that. All right, here we go. Better try that time. All right, last part of this question. What will her odometer read when she reaches Albuquerque? Okay, so again, we started with 154,987. Okay. This is what it reads when she left Seattle. So she's already traveled this 220 kilometers. What we're going to have to do is take this number here that we calculated in part A of how far is she going to travel between Seattle and Albuquerque. And we're going to have to add it to this number here. So 154,987 plus, what was it? 2,342.704. Okay, and this is going to give us our answer So let's go back here. 154,987 plus 2,342.704. And that gives us our answer, 157,329. 157,329, and that's going to be 0.704. Okay, scroll down a little bit further so we can write it. Her odometer will read 157,929.7 kilometers. Most odometers either don't have a decimal at all or just have the one decimal. Okay, so this is not too tough. All right, last part of this unit is problem solving with linear measurement. A big part of what we're trying to teach you in Math 10-3 is about problem solving and being able to see a problem and thinking about different ways that we can solve this without panicking and thinking, oh my God, I don't know. So we need to take a look at some questions and figure out what is it actually asking me to do and how do I get there? So let's take a look at some examples. This first one here says, Suzanne purchased tiles from her patio that are 8 inches by 4 inches. She measured her patio in meters and wants to convert the tile dimensions to metric units. What are the dimensions of the tiles in centimeters? Okay, so we have two measurements, 8 inches and 4 inches. We need to convert them to centimeters. All right, in both cases. So again, 1 inch is going to go on the top, on the other side. I'm just doing them both at the same time because it's a lot easier for me just to write it all down and then just plug it all into my calculator and do it really quickly that way. So let's take a look at our chart here because we need to know how many centimeters are in an inch. Well, an inch is 2.54 centimeters. So let's go back here, 2.54 centimeters. Write it back on this one too. And let's pull up our calculator. Now we can calculate this easily. 8 times 2.54, okay, divided by that 1, which of course is going to give us the same answer, 20.32. So this one here is 20.32 centimeters. Okay, second one. It's 4 inches, not 8, 4 inches times 2.54. Divided by that 1, we get 10.16 centimeters. So our dimensions, the dimensions are 20.32. This is going to be a messy 2, so let's just redo that 2 there. 20.32 centimeters by 10.16 centimeters. And this is our answer. All right, so this one is a little bit different. Rebecca is planning to install sod in her backyard, which is 18.2 meters by 9.8 meters. If sod costs 28 cents per square foot, how much will it cost to sod the whole backyard? All right, our problem here is that this measurement is in feet or square feet. These measurements are in meters. So let's convert these to feet first. So 18.2 meters are how many feet? Okay, we're gonna have to figure that out. 1 meter is how many feet? Now we've got to do this twice. So let's just set them both up at the same time. 9.8 meters. How many feet? 1 meter is how many feet? So let's remind ourselves how many feet are in a meter? 3.281. So 3.281 and 3.281 down here. So let's pull up our calculator. Okay, 18.2 times 3.281 divided by that 1 gives us 59.71. And this one here 9.8 times 3.281 gives us 32.15. And these are in feet. So now we're going to have to figure out area. And if you guys remember, area is length times width. All right, really simple formula for area of a square or a rectangle. Okay, so length times width, which means we're going to do 59.71 times 32.15. Now, I have these numbers saved in their entirety over here. So we're going to actually use the whole number. So we're going to take this number, we're going to say times, and we're going to say 59.7142 because that's our whole number there. Okay, really important when you can to use the whole number in your answer. And that's going to give us 1,920 square feet. Now, another way of writing square feet is like this. Some people will write it this way, and so don't be surprised if you see this here. So now that's not our total answer though, because we still need to figure out, okay, well, how much is it going to cost? So let's come down here. So now we have to do 1920 square feet times 28 cents per square foot. And that's going to give us how much this is going to cost. So we're going to take this, times it by 28 cents, and we get $537.61. I've already forgotten it. $537.61. So we need to put our answer here. It will cost $537.61 to sod the backyard. Okay, now let's take a look at this second page because it's saying we could have solved this example by determining the cost of the sod per square meter. Answer the question using this method. Is your answer the same? Why or why not? Now, on the surface, this looks like a really simple conversion, but we have a problem, and that is that the cost of 28 cents was per square foot. Okay? We need to figure out how many square feet go into a square meter. This is not what I wanted to write. Okay, this is what we need to answer. So in order to do this, what we need to do is 1 meter squared equals 1 meter times 1 meter, right? This is how you get this area, is 1 meter times 1 meter equals 1 meter squared. Now 1 meter equals how many feet? We know from our chart, it's 3.281 feet. So 1 meter squared is going to equal 3.281 times 3.281. Let's throw that into our calculator. We get 10.764961. 10.764961. Was that right? 764961. Yes. So 1 meter squared equals 10.764961 feet squared. Okay, so this is what we need to figure out, all right? So if it was 28 cents per square foot, now we're going to take how many square feet it is, 10.764961. We're going to times that by 28 cents to get our amount per meter squared. So times this by 28 cents gives us $3.01 roughly per meter squared. Okay, this is how much it costs per meter squared. Now we need to say, all right, what was the area in meters squared? And let's remind ourselves what the dimensions were, 18.2 by 9.8. So 18.2 meters times 9.8 meters equals 178.36 meters squared. So this is the area in meters squared of the backyard. And now we need to multiply these two together. And I'm going to use the full number here because I can. Okay, this times my answer here, and we get $537.61. And we double check and we see, is this the same answer? Yes, it's the same answer. However, the way that we solved for it was probably a little bit more complicated than you expected. And so that's why we chose to show you this example, is that it's really important to understand this is not a simple conversion because squared units cannot be easily compared to linear units. All right, so just remember that. It won't be as simple as just saying, okay, how many feet go into a meter? Let's times that. Okay, we can't just say 28 cents times 3.28 feet and get an answer. It's not going to give us the right answer because this is a squared. This is feet squared, whereas this is just linear feet. All right, so don't forget that. There will be quizzes posted for your practice on the classroom. We would encourage you to check those out. And then tomorrow there will be a quiz that will require you to finish it for marks. If you have any questions, don't forget, you can contact either myself or Miss Thomas, depending on who is your assigned teacher. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you next week.